Hey guys, what's going on? Jake here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct that happened earlier this morning. So I would have actually done a video on this earlier today, but I had schoolwork, and then with this Direct releasing earlier this morning, I don't think I was even like up and functional yet. So I was not able to see it live, but I did see GameXplain post a couple of the different clips, and then I actually went back and watched the full 14 minutes of the Direct. So one thing before I do get started, I actually thought that the Direct was coming regardless. I know that a lot of people yesterday and a couple weeks prior to the Direct were speculating about whether or not it would actually happen. Although I could have sworn on Nintendo's last Direct, like full Direct, they mentioned on how more information would come for X, Y, or Z, A, B, C, whatever, for a specific game later in January via a Direct. I could have sworn that happened. If not, then just call me an oddball, but I could have sworn that we were getting this Direct like straight up and confirmed. But I guess not, because people were speculating about yesterday and stuff. But so a lot actually happened in this Direct. Nothing to really get people throwing their chairs and flipping their desks. But just a lot of cool, like, here and there kind of nitpicks and DLC. Well, not nitpicks, but things that, you know, that you'll pick up for no more than like 20 bucks kind of stuff. We got a lot here. I didn't actually download the footage and then chop it up for video editing. I'm like raw screen recording this over audio. So my audio is real time with what's happening with the screen. So yippee-ki-yay mamacita. And there are only a few things here that are on the Direct that I actually care about. So I'm not going to be talking about everything, just a few things. For example, I'm leaving out the SNK heroines because I'm not into fighting games like that necessarily. I'm not into fighting games like that, so I mean, I'll probably skim over it just for you guys who are into it, but I'm not necessarily going to be talking about it and stuff. So, and nor am I picking it up, sadly, for all of you guys whose balloon I just bursted. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So to start things off, though, Square Enix actually surprised a lot of us with The World Ends With You Final Remix. So for those of you who played the game and don't necessarily know what Final Remix means, Final Remix is a trend that Square Enix likes to do with a couple of their properties. I know they do it for Kingdom Hearts. I don't necessarily know if they do it for Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, I think is the other one. But they do it for Kingdom Hearts. And so basically what Final Remix is, it's a brand of a game where basically they add in a bunch of extra stuff, such as boss fights, gear, equipment, weapons, things like that they didn't put in the game's initial release. So technically, Final Remix is like a DLC pack kind of thing, but when they started doing the whole Final Remix trend, DLC wasn't a thing, because this was like early 2000s, so the internet was not a thing yet, y'all, just kidding. But so yeah, and it's really nice to see another Square property get this treatment, because to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure only Kingdom Hearts has that treatment at the moment. I could totally be wrong, because I don't really keep track of a whole lot of Square's properties, aside from Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, The World Ends With You, obviously, and Octopath, depending on how that's looking. But so, I never actually played no, that's a lie. I've played The World Ends With You, I've just never had my own copy of it, so I never dove into the story or anything like that. Mainly because I've heard that the gameplay was really weird, because first of all, I heard that it was initially supposed to be a rhythmic-based RPG game. Well, after looking at the gameplay here, I don't really see where rhythm really jumps into it. I mean, I have the audio disabled right now for me because of the video, but I mean, even listening to the audio, I'm not necessarily sure how, you're supposed to play this rhythmatically, if that's even a word. But hey, it's on the Switch. I'm definitely going to be picking it up due to convenience. So yeah, and then next up is Pokken Tournament, which looks okay. I'm not really big on Pokken just due to the fighting style. I more so like games like Smash Brothers, Rivals of Aether, Brawlhalla. I'm not really big on games like Tekken and Street Fighter. Their controls feel wonky to me. Things feel blocky, or I don't know. It's just weird. So Pokken Tournament, they got Aegis/, whichever you want to call it, for DLC, and they showed off that they're having Blastoise and Mew and whatnot, but they didn't show any gameplay. They have the art renders for it, so to me that shows that they have the art renders, that they have them like ready to be put on like the roster, but not necessarily that they're ready to show off gameplay. So I don't even know if they're done developing that, because that's kind of weird how they'll announce it without necessarily, I guess, just showing straight up gameplay. Kind of similar to how Mewtwo was announced for Smash Bros. 4. They didn't really show any gameplay of Mewtwo. They just straight up showed Mewtwo being like digitized, which was a cool, reference and whatnot to how Mewtwo's created in the Pokemon lore and yada yada yada. But Aegislash, whichever you want to call him, looks completely broken in the game. But then again, so does like all of the Pokken characters when you actually know how to play them. Next up is Kirby Star Allies. I'm definitely getting this. I really like how they added 2 more abilities, Spider and Artist. Both look really, really cool, and in my opinion, Spider even looks like a reference to Spider-Man, and it's going to be hard to convince me otherwise. The whole Friend Train thing and Friend Star, they both really, really look cool, so I'm really looking forward to this game, and then especially the art style that they use for clips like this with Meta Knight looked really, really awesome, and then Francisca, who seems to be a new character. So the story, the art style, everything about this Kirby Allies game screams me. I love Kirby games like this, so hopefully this one doesn't disappoint like Dream... No, it wasn't Dream Team. Mass Attack. I hated Mass Attack. So next up is Kirby Battle Royale and Dragon Quest Builders demo. Battle Royale is actually getting a demo, so that's all that's known. And then so is Dragon Quest Builders, which is Dragon Quest, but Mario Maker. Next up is Hyrule Definitive Version, which I'm really looking forward to because I loved Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U, but I never did get into it just due to the mass DLC it had, and I didn't have enough money to get all the DLC that I wanted. So it's great to see that they are porting over the game to the Switch, like how they did Mario Kart 8 and Pokken DX. To the Switch. I'm really liking that, and I'm really looking forward to this. It's definitely going to be a game that I'm getting solely due to how all the DLC is put together, because I initially enjoyed the game on the Wii U. It just sucked that I couldn't get the DLC. But so, again, I'm really, really, really looking forward to this, and I'm definitely picking it up, mainly just so I can play as my boy Toon Link. And then the DLC that they're adding, or not DLC, but the in-game customization that they're putting for the game too, which is the Hyrule Warriors skin. No, it's the Breath of the Wild skin for Zelda and Link, which look really amazing. Yeah, here they are. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. You even got the Goddess Bow and everything, and that doesn't look like the Master Sword. I don't think that's the Master Sword, but looks amazing. I'm definitely picking this up, and it's coming out spring, so yippee-ki-yay mamacita. And then after we have Mario Tennis Aces, which, it looks good. I'm not really into motion control sports game. I really like the days of when you just, played with normal controls, but I'm sure there's a workaround with most sports games these days. But anyway, this tennis game looks alright. I'm probably not going to pick it up just because I have better things to play. But then moving on, what's really cool is that this game actually includes a story mode, which only one of the other Mario Tennises for the Game Boy Advance had. So it's really nice to see them to go through with that formula again. And then afterward, we have Ys 8. I've never heard of this game before, but this looks really, really good. It looks open world like Xenoblade, and my sole reason for not picking up Xenoblade is that it looked too anime for me. This looks about the same kind of anime, but not nearly as shoved down my throat. This kind of looks like Breath of the Wild anime, if you know what I mean. Like, it's clearly anime inspired, without shoving anime down your throat, kind of like Xenoblade does to me. So this game looks amazing. I'm definitely going to be picking this up. This looks awesome. And I've never heard of this game before, so if this is like a really good gaming franchise, please let me know, and I'm going to be picking up more games of this. So what's after Ys 8? Let's see here. Ys 8. Oh yeah, that's right. They had the Mario Odyssey DLC. Basically, what this thing is, it's an online mode featuring Luigi. So there are 2 modes to this, basically depending on what world/level you're in. If you talk to Luigi, you can either hide a balloon and have your other friends or just random people online find it, or you can have your friends hide a balloon and then you find it. And then I guess it creates a ranking system, so the more balloons you find, or I guess the harder it is you hide them, you get put up on the leaderboard, which looks cool. It may actually allow me to play Odyssey a bit more, because my whole thing with Odyssey is that I played it once and I'm never going to pick it up again because it's just another Mario game. So it's good to see that they're adding more to it, which is really, really nice. And a lot of people were speculating that they were going to be adding Luigi to the game, more so like how they added Luigi into the Mario Galaxy games, which I would have loved. I would have absolutely loved Luigi to be a playable character in Odyssey, and either have the hat gimmick or have some other gimmick that's strictly for Luigi that's just as effective as it. But they went this route with it with Luigi, with having him be an online NPC kind of thing, which is cool because which is really cool because just the whole online thing, it's fun, it's competitive, but it's not like super competitive. So yeah. Moving on, what else is there? There's the, oh yeah, SNK Heroines. I'm not really into that. That looks like, crap, what's that Netflix show? It's like Sparkle Girls or whatever. Me and my friend, we watched that for the lulz. New character in Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Basically, they added Donkey Kong as DLC. Spoiler, not spoiler. He looks pretty cool. Is this free? Is the DLC for Donkey Kong free? Because if it's free, I'm gonna get it. If it's not free, I'm not gonna get it. So, just because, yeah, introducing DK, it doesn't say. Okay, so Payday 2 character exclusively. It's a Japanese hacker character, which is really cool. They got an LED mask and everything that changes. Super cool. Their name is Joy. So if you're into Payday 2, that definitely looks like a nice little DLC pack for you guys. And the next up is this game named Fi or Fi. Whichever. It looks really good from this cutscene right here, but then when you look at the gameplay, I kind of felt a bit overwhelmed with just how exotic the gameplay looks, in my opinion. It's supposed to be, I guess, a puzzle game like Breath of the Wild and as free roaming as it too, but it has its own concept where the way on how you solve puzzles is by communicating with other animals and plants, which enable, like, you know, platforms to rise or, you know, walls to go down. See how this area right here, the little area opens up for you. So it's definitely a cool gimmick, but I'm not sure if I'm going to actually be getting this game. I doubt it. But so you play as this little character here, whose name I'm guessing is Fi, and what makes you different from everybody else is that you can actually change your vocal cords and match them with other creatures and plants, which allows you to befriend them, and then they do things for you, so yada yada yada. February 16th, if you're into that. And then we got a new 2D platformer game that looks really cool, so I may actually pick this up because I'm into Nindies, I guess is what Nintendo calls their indie franchises. But this looks really, really good. It does also have assist mode because for a game that looks as puzzling, I guess, as this, where you even have stamina too. Well, not really puzzling, but I know that there was a hard mode. Yeah, this is it right here. So assist mode is really nice for this. It's called Celeste, coming out January 25th, which is literally 2 weeks from the day of the Direct, which is today, or the time of this video. So Donkey Kong is actually getting ported over to the Switch as well, with a new mode featuring Funky Kong. And basically, if you play as Funky Kong, you're not cheating, but you're cheating, if that makes any sense. So Donkey Kong has all these funky abilities. See what I did there? Where basically it makes him God in any of these levels. So just watching these here too. But I may get this for the Switch because it's also multiplayer, so that really adds for a unique dynamic. It also really reminds me of the days to where I played Kirby Dream Land with my little brother, older brother, and friends. So it's just really nice to have that kind of side-scrolling game to play with friends and with siblings. So definitely a game that I'm going to be picking up. And then here it's Dark Souls Remastered. If you're into Dark Souls, definitely pick this up. I'm not really into Dark Souls. Isn't it like Skyrim? I may have just like killed some people, but I heard that it's like Skyrim, and I've always wanted to pick up Skyrim. So if it's similar, I may get Dark Souls. If it's totally different, I may not get Dark Souls. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all there is from the Direct. Just kind of skimmed things. I'm definitely most hyped for the World Ends With You Final Remix. And then probably the Hyrule's definitive version. Those look really, really good. So what are your guys' initial thoughts on the Nintendo Direct Mini, for those of you who watched it? For those of you who haven't watched it and just wanted to watch this video for a recap, and I believe this video has actually gone on longer, or if not the same amount of time as the Direct itself, and yes, it has. But yeah, so there's this Nintendo Direct wasn't really huge, but it wasn't tiny as well. Well, I mean, it's called Mini, Mini. But yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts and opinions? If you watched it, if you didn't watch it, and you just decided to have a little refresher, what are your thoughts and opinions on any of the things that I mentioned? And I think I actually mentioned everything. But yeah, anyway, guys, this is Jake logging out. Peace.